Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We are at 1761 Douglas Ave Southeast here in Salem, doing a rescope. This is post-hydrojetting. Alright, water's running. We're going to zero out the foot counter here. Off we go. Take a closer look at some of these bellies on the way out. The bellies and the joints. Got some joints in here that are just, I'm glad the line's been cleaned out. As far as I can tell, the ones we've gone past there, and I was zipping past them, we'll get a better view on the way out, but they look sealed up. They just, a lot of the joints were not slammed home all the way where the pipe ends beat up with each other. I think they tried to account for that by putting plenty of extra pipe glue in. Alright, now we're getting out of the spot here that kind of hung me up last time. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let the line drain off for a moment. It looks like the line right here is transitioning to 3034. It looks like we've got some green coloration there. So it appears we're at a transition. So right now this is looking like we may have a belly in the sewer line. So we're going to get a little clearer view here. Yeah, we are definitely in 3034 PVC. And this thing does more stinking dives. That was one wild back-to-back set of drops right there. Okay, I'm going to turn the water back on. I need the water to lube the line up just to get through here. There we go. Now the water's finally getting out there. I think what we've got here is just there's the main right there at 58 feet. So you just have one more drop right before you drop into the main. I'm going to locate right here just prior to it. You're about 58 feet or so, 59 feet, we'll call it, to the main. I just can't locate on the cameras in a vertical dive like that. So we'll let the line drain out. I'm going to go locate here and then we'll pull back in. Alright, located it's a kind of a unique sewer line that the main lateral in this case, if you look up the street, if you're standing in the street, I should say, facing the front of this house, just to the right of this, you've got another driveway right on the turn of the corner of the road. You'll see there's a manhole right in their driveway skirt. That manhole lines up with where we are currently sitting at. So I put a green T marking down just for reference where we're currently located. And I'm getting a depth there, and I'm even pulled back from the end of the drop. We're actually about another foot deeper than where we're currently getting a locate. I'm getting 11 feet deep here. Way, way, way down there. Extraordinarily deep sewer line. All right, I just checked the clean out. Line is essentially fully drained at this point. So the belly dissipates off there right at the main. Now you've got one continuous belly basically from the base of the hard vertical drop here. And you're working with, sorry, I'm going to push back out here, do a little trick. The way we kind of gauge standing water. Yeah, so when I rip the camera back really quickly, it's a trick I learned many years ago. When you rip the camera back really fast, if you have about 2 inches or less of standing water, you'll see the water line pull down below the camera lens. Otherwise, you won't if you've got 2 inches or more. The line here looks like it's hard to say if it's fully submerged, but you've got 2 inches plus of standing water there. And I'll go back and look at the other video. What I don't recall seeing much going on, it was in the way of significant buildup. We cleaned the line there so we could get a better look. I'm not sure what was hanging the camera up, but there was something in there. But the last time I came out here, when I pushed just past the base of that drop, my camera snagged on something. So there may have been an object in the line at the base of the drop. And if you have some foreign object go down line and get into standing water like that, it's not going to move. It's just going to sit there. So looks like whatever was there is gone now. You've got some level of sediment in the standing water, and that's to be expected with standing water. It's never going to be completely clean. You're always going to have particulate floating around. The more concerning stuff is when you get thick buildup. And I'll go back and take a look at the other video, but I don't recall seeing major amounts of buildup or blockage evidence. So my 2 cents on that is this. I mean, in order to correct the standing water in this sewer line, you are reinstalling the entire sewer line. There's no way around it. Just about every part of the line has got some level of standing water in it. You know, unless I've got clear evidence of bad pipe joints, you know, this line, again, the reason I recommended cleaning it was not because of major amounts of buildup throughout the line. It was to help get a better view and remove something that was hanging the camera up there or running a risk of snagging it. It was not due to major thick buildup on the sidewalls. You know, the concerning thing about a line like this is, one, when you go to sell the house, it's going to get nitpicked. I can just about guarantee it. There's not a lot of people out there that are not going to recommend repairs on them, and very few have the experience level like someone like me does to give you the insight on how lines like this function. They're just going to jump straight to repair. So there's a concern in that regard, you know, in the liability you're taking on as to whether someone's going to make a huge deal about this thing. There's enough standing water in the line that it can cause problems if the line is not being treated properly. Under, you know, a circumstance where you're treating the line correctly, I think your likelihood of blocking up here and backing up is relatively low. I'm also, all I have to go off of too as far as debris evidence is whatever the occupancy in the house currently is. I try not to speculate too much, although I can do that to an extent. I've been doing this a very long time. You know, I think you've probably got 2 adults at least in the house here currently. You know, and that debris level can change depending on the size of the household. If you put 2 people and 4 kids in here, like in my house, 6 people, you know, if people are not treating the line correctly, if you've got little ones in the household, you may very well end up with more buildup. But, you know, as I recall coming through these areas here where the standing water is, I don't recall seeing major amounts of buildup. And I'll go back and look at the other video, but the joints all appear to be intact. I don't see any dirt stains at those joints now that you know they've been cleaned up as much as possible. They look sealed up. They're not put together in an ideal fashion, but they do appear to be sealed. So this is kind of a hard one here because I'm looking at this from also kind of a cost-benefit analysis too. You know, when I'm not seeing strong evidence of recurring backups. You know, a lot of these lines like this where you're looking at whether to redo the entire thing, digging a trench down to 12 feet deep tearing up a driveway. It is a massive undertaking to fix a line that thus far does not show a lot of evidence of recurring flow problems. I'm going to go back and review the other video, compare and contrast them together. But right now, all the pipe I just scoped there all appears to be intact. Plastic pipe can settle to quite an extent without breaking, as long as everything's put together. So I don't see any strong evidence of anything else going on here. I didn't see any root hairs floating around down there at the base of the drop where you're starting to get near a tree. So anyway, I'm gonna do some comparing and contrasting of the videos and a little bit of thinking about that, but that's kind of how my feelings are on this. Some of these lines, in my opinion, make more sense, especially when you're having to dig down to that extent and redo the entire sewer line in order to correct these things. In my opinion, a lot of these make more sense to do maintenance cleaning on and treat them properly than they do to just simply repair them. That's from a functional standpoint. That's from a homeowner that understands their line, knows about it, and knows how to treat it. The hard part is when you go to sell this home, this may very well be a big sticking problem for a lot of buyers. So that's the other concern, is on that end. You know, functionality is one thing, but then there's also going to be people that are nervous about inheriting a line that has settling end to end throughout the entire sewer pipe. The good part is you have lots of grade here to correct it if you went after repair on it. So anyway, I'm going to do some reviewing of both the videos back and forth here, and then I will do a write-up on the report, my final opinion on this thing. I'm kind of 50-50 on it, between recommending maintenance cleaning on it versus just simply updating the sewer line and repairing it.